The name of tonight's chapter is Terminator. 30 minutes earlier. Within Karina's high-rise penthouse apartment, Laszlo and Ketch lay on the couch in the living room together watching cartoons. Laszlo has an overly large bowl of popcorn on his lap that he eats from and occasionally gives a handful to Ketch. It's been hours since either of them have seen Karina, as she left early this morning to go spend time with Bobby and Roz for Bobby's birthday. When Ketch hops off the couch to go get a drink of water from the dispenser in the kitchen, the fox hesitates at the large windows to gaze up into the sky towards the Smashball Stadium. Moving away from the window, Ketch slinks across the living room into the kitchen to hydrate. Laszlo watches Ketch hesitate at the window before getting his drink and simply shrugs to himself. The orange panda hadn't known a better life until he'd met Karina. The Smartimal had 4 previous owners over the 2 years of life that he could call his own, and each of the first 3 had returned him after purchase due to an attitude problem. Gazing into the holographic display of a cartoon warthog and cartoon meerkat singing to a cartoon lion, Laszlo thinks back to his initial memories before being considered a consumer product. Like all Smartimals, Laszlo has been bred in a lab with the intention of providing companionship to people on space stations, long-hauler ships, and planetoid colonies with a particular lack of local fauna. Like Ketch, it hadn't been any one specific scientist responsible for Laszlo's birth, but instead an entire team. The process had begun roughly 50 years before, when the PMAC had raised taxation prices for transporting Earth animals to outer colonies. With cryotech being created for the human body, countless thousands of animals never survived their trips, which had led to lawsuits both private and corporate. Laszlo had no idea which scientist's idea it had been to alter the basic Smartable DNA to provide a higher basic level of cognitive understanding and communication than his Earth animal origin species. Occasionally, he had thought to himself that if he had ever met that person, that he would, to the best of his ability without being able to directly speak, inform them that giving the spark of awareness to a creature not meant for it, and especially one who didn't ask for it, might not be the most prudent scientific choice. During his previous tenure with other owners, Laszlo had observed other Smartimals be expected to not only provide love and warmth, but instead act as indentured servants. This never sat well with him, and he'd made a promise to himself early on that nobody could make him do anything he didn't want to do, even if they provided him with warm blankets and a roof over his head. Laszlo was aware that Karina was a younger human than all of his previous owners, and that she cared obviously more about him and Ketch than anyone that he had met before. She was kind and took the pair of them on walks daily and often to the park on weekends. All the free time she spent at home with the pair of them was either spent playing or snuggling, and even though he'd shot nothing but attitude at her and the people she worked with, she'd continued to accept him for who he was, curmudgeon and all. When a commercial for tonight's local Smashball game interrupts the cartoons, Laszlo turns to look at Ketch, who, having finished drinking, wanders back across the living room towards the couch. As the two Smartimals lock eyes, Laszlo goes to offer a handful of popcorn to his friend, but pauses when there's a sudden, unexpected heavy against the front door. Instinctively, both creatures freeze. There's a pause of silence when Laszlo mutes the TV. With powerful senses stronger than any humans, both Ketch and Laszlo hear the heavy footfalls of clawed feet clicking in the hallway outside the door. Whatever is out there smells of death, rot, and blood. The hair on Ketch's back raises and he turns to face the door, squaring up and baring his fangs. Unlike Laszlo, this is a smell that Ketch is vaguely familiar with. Slowly, Laszlo turns around and peeks his little head up over the rim of the couch to stare across the room at the front door when slam! The door is hit hard enough a second time for the frame to shake. When it does so, Laszlo jumps slightly and turns to see that Ketch is locked on, but slowly backing away from the door towards Karina's open bedroom behind him. When the third slam comes, the door bursts open, and to the immediate dismay of both Smartimals, a monstrous beast, bred only from the mutational state of supernatural evolution and raw, refined violence, stands there before them on 4 legs. So do you guys remember the short we did of all of those Odessan soldiers just getting murked by the fucking... You remember those fucking things that fell off of its body? Mm-hmm. Remember those little dogs that fell off his body and how one was left alive? Black drool spills from Brimstone's lips to drip onto the carpeted floor beneath him. The bone armor shards running across his limbs, chest, back, and skull shudder and shake like a rattlesnake. Looking between the two Smartimals, the creature, at least twice their size, at the smallest, swivels his gaze between the two, attempting to decide which would be the easier prey. In the doorway behind the beast, 2 humans that neither of the Smartles have ever seen before appear, and just like Brimstone, they reek of death. Their skin is a pale gray, and each has black spider webs running along their cheeks and underneath their eyes. When they smile, the pair of humans reveal sharp fangs. One of the 2 says, "That's it now, Brimstone. We don't have long here, so do what you need to do to make the boss proud." Without warning, the creature leaps viciously across the room towards Ketch, the larger, skinless, and hairless beast gnashing its teeth and extending out bladed claws from the pads of its white feet. Roll initiative, Brimstone versus Ketch and Laszlo. Yeah, so Brimstone got a 5, then Ketch and Laszlo tied. So it would be Brimstone's first move, and these 2 guys kind of like follow into the room behind him as he slowly creeps in this direction.
They could just be friends. You could give them a hug.
I want Brimstone to go after Laszlo.
With his first movement, he's definitely going to leap over this like banister, and Laszlo just sees this thing. Like, Ketch was backing away, and like as Brimstone is walking towards Ketch, it like swivels his head to see Laszlo's little head peeking over the couch and just aggressively leaps over. Woo! Alright, well, he gets her. With 1 bite, describe how Brimstone takes out Laszlo.
He leaps over the sofa, like you described, and he sort of drools all over the fucking floor, and then he just grabs him by his throat and starts fucking thrashing his head like a damn shark.
Ketch is gonna try to attack the dog thing, I guess.
Go Ketch. Go Ketch. Laszlo saw it coming, and he like spun around and tried to run away and jump off of the couch, but Brimstone leapt up and like grabbed onto the back of Laszlo's neck where his scruff is and just fucking like Ketch like leaps, sees this happen, leaps up on the banister and like knocks a bunch of little like knickknacks off, like skittering on his little fox feet, and then like throws himself through the fucking air to essentially land on top of like spike bone body Brimstone, doing 3 damage.
He's like taking his claws and just like raking them across where that like fleshy part is underneath the like rib things on his back.
Okay.
I want Laszlo to try to scratch at him.
When Ketch leapt onto him and bit him, Brimstone like let go. So like now Ketch is basically like his back paws are on the rim of the couch, his front paws are on Brimstone, raking into him, and he's like trying to like bite into his, and like that causes Brimstone to let go of Laszlo, who drops to the couch.
Oh, okay. Well, then if Laszlo is out of his mouth, he's gonna run for the balcony, which maybe would be mobility.
Yes.
Okay. Oh fuck. Okay, he's not going anywhere.
I want him to attack Laszlo again.
Oh shit.
Oh god. God.
Throat, tries to pin him this time though.
Okay, so
Laszlo. Come on, Laszlo. Come on, Laszlo.
you got more mobility than the bite.
Oh god, it's like one of those cartoons where his feet are going but he's not running until he like grabs purchase and just like bolts towards the balcony windows.
Okay. Does she have a balcony?
I thought so. I thought that was no, just the window. He's going for the window. He's going for the window.
All right, so he gets over towards like this other window over here. During the fight, the 2 people blocking the doorway toss multiple sticks of C4 explosive throughout the room. One is tossed into the kitchen, a second lands in the darkness of Karina's bedroom, and a third lands in Laszlo's bowl of popcorn on the couch. During all of this, bright, happy cartoons continue playing across the living room's hollow screen.
Ketch is going to... He's going to try to bolt past the people blocking the door.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, he tries to get out, but these 2 dudes, like, he gets past this one guy right here who's kind of, like, made his way in. He, like, dodges, weaves, like, leaps through his legs. But then this other guy who's out in the hallway sees Ketch coming and, like, slams the door.
So the door is shut.
The door is shut, and, like, Ketch basically, like, slides on the floor, like, into the doorway. Hell of a start, right?
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do. He's got 1 health. Fuck. Okay. He's gonna try to go after this bitch over here.
He's like bleeding down his back. He's got like a red cape.
He's not feeling good. He's
So
not
he's
feeling
like
it.
angry too. He's pissed now. Like he's mad. He's been curmudgeon-y, but he's fucking pissed now. Because he was literally just like having this like happy moment, like thinking about how things aren't that bad, and then now all of a sudden this shit's fucking happening. So it's like Laszlo's like, well, my day's fucking ruined. This is garbage. so he definitely like is in a lot of pain and like turns around and sees that like Brimstone has like collided into this corner here because the floor is like it's like a tile, so his claws like it's very much the Velociraptor in the fucking freezer from Jurassic Park where he's like
Banging off
and like
shit.
slides into the thing and he's trying to get his grip and he sees Ketch dip and Laszlo's like, all right, I'm gonna follow fucking Ketch. So he like goes running across the room to follow after Ketch, but like sees that Ketch hits the door and gets blocked. And when that happens, Laszlo's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this man in front of me. So go ahead and roll your attack. All right, so you do 2 damage.
He climbs up his back and like finds the spot between the guy's like helmet and his outfit and is like going at his neck.
So it's just like payback to what like Brimstone did to him.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
as Brimstone regains his footing and starts kind of heading in this direction, he sees that Laszlo is on top of one of these guys, just fucking attacking him, and like Ketch is trapped over in the corner by the door.
I want Brimstone to go after Laszlo, even though he's attacking the other guy.
Okay. As Brimstone like comes charging across the room and like leaps through the air, last fucking second, Laszlo like jumps off of this guy, and Brimstone just fucking collides into him and like knocks him back into the wall, and like the guy's down on the ground, and Laszlo's off. Brimstone is now between Ketch and Laszlo, and you get your slow action.
So I'm equidistant to both of them.
Yeah, you're between the two of the animals.
I might as well keep going for Laszlo.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
shit.
I mean, you get him to 0. Like, we're going to roll a critical injury on his... Actually, let's just do that. Concussion. All right, so yeah. That confirms it. Laszlo does not die.
Brimstone just leaps upon, like, on top of him and almost kind of crushes him with his weight and sort of slams him into the floor, and that's what gives him the concussion.
All right, and when his head bounces off the floor, he just knocked out, just black, flat on his back, unconscious. It's now Ketch's turn, and this like mutant thrall of Darren's like pushes himself up and like yells at Brimstone like, "Watch where you're going, you fucking animal!" And then like it like turns its head and like looks up at him like, and then just like leaps up onto this dude and just like rips through his chest, like tears this guy to pieces. Fucking, he's like screaming, and the guy outside's like, "Andy! Andy!" And like opens the door and like sees Brimstone doing it, and he's oh shit, and then just like closes the door again.
Oh, God. So Ketch is gonna try to.
Fucking Andy, man. What a loser.
Ketch is gonna jump on the thing's back and try to attack him again.
So they're doing like a little dance here where like Ketch is trying to fucking bite him. Yep. So they just like keep fucking canceling each other out, and it's Brimstone's turn.
All right, he's just gonna go for the bitch slap and just go upside fucking Ketch's head.
Try
All
to
right.
dodge.
Roll it. All right. So he does hit Ketch on the side of the head, doing 1 damage. Now it's Ketch's turn. Like the slap from this creature's claw. I mean, this thing is it's big. It's like the size of a fucking human hand. So it comes across and just hits Ketch and kind of knocks him back a little bit.
Okay, he's gonna aim and attack. Oh my goodness, Catch.
Aaron, it is now Brimstone's turn again.
Oh my goodness. So what's Catch's situation at this point?
He's only lost 1 hit point.
I'm gonna go for the throat with a bite.
Okay. He missed.
Yeah.
All right, Catch is gonna try to attack again.
Can I
Aim
dodge?
your-
I mean,
You could dodge, but he missed. Now it's Brimstone's turn. They're just circling each other, like trying to fight. And I mean, Ketch just has a lot more experience. Brimstone's bigger and meaner, but Ketch has survived some shit at this point. He's fought Ambrosquids and shit. So like, to him, he's not like, oh no. He's like, no, fuck, I'm gonna fucking fight this thing.
all right. So it's my roll.
It is.
I'm gonna go with the bone spike.
Dodge. I'll try to.
Bone Spike is actually a ranged combat.
Oh
Oh.
shit. So do I do?
No, it's you don't have to do anything, Aaron. It's set up in your thing. So Ketch takes 4 damage.
Okay, he is down.
All right, let's roll a critical injury for Ketch. All right, concussion.
So he's not dead?
No,
right?
he's just knocked with a concussion.
Okay. Brimstone fires two out of his body, and they just kind of graze him on his jaw like a Rocky punch, where you can like see it like slow motion, where he's like, like that. Like you can see the jawline shift when he gets whacked.
And he just like his little fox head just hits
like
the ground.
spit and everything, just plop.
So, badly bruised, beaten, cut, and torn, the barely conscious, blood-covered Laszlo reaches his small paw out through hazy eyes towards the whimpering Ketch, who fades in and out of consciousness only a few feet away on the carpet. Brimstone, victorious, paces between the two and kicks Laszlo back away from his friend before roaring down in the orange panda's face in a great, overbearing show of dominance. Spittle and blood spill from the creature's mouth to spray slick, red, foamy globules across Laszlo's face. Unable to fight back, the orange panda simply sighs and watches as Ketch's loose, limp body is lifted up by the last remaining concrete-skinned human. I think they've had enough. Boss said he wanted him alive. We let this thing keep going, and chances are good you're gonna kill one of them. And like Brimstone just kind of just pissed, but he lets it happen. Once Brimstone saunters past the man and exits the apartment to disappear into the hallway, he walks over to Laszlo, picks him up along with Ketch, and slings him over his free shoulder. You're coming with me, little dude. Not sure what your owner did to piss off the boss like this, but we can't let you go out in a blaze just yet. Kneeling down once again, he rummages through the jacket pockets of the dead Andy and pulls forth the trigger for the C4. From the hallway, a mournful, rage-filled roar from Brimstone causes the thrall to yell, I'm coming! I'm coming! Turning on his heel, the man carries the now unconscious Ketch and Laszlo out of the apartment into unknown danger.
My babies.
And now we leap back up to now. And what was the nightmare that Karina had this morning as she was asleep that caused her to no longer be able to de-stress for the rest of tonight, which is not good.
Yeah, 'cause she already has two because of that fucking game. She dreamt that she woke up and she was like falling. She took a second for her to like place what was happening. And she realizes she's like underwater and there's a like cinder block tied to her ankle. And so she's like being slower because it's dream logic being pulled down into the depths of the ocean. And like she can't really see super well because it's pretty dark. But eventually some like light starts to come through and she sees like other people. And then it's like Raz also is like dead straight up, like just floating down, being pulled down by this thing. And then it's like Darren being pulled down and Bobby being pulled down. And she sees like Alexei and he's being pulled down, but they're all already just like totally, she's the only person that's like aware of what's happening and like alive. And so she's like realizes that she's going to drown and then she wakes up.
And from where Karina landed on a sidewalk in Hightown, leading up towards the Golden Cathedral, she sits motionless. Still partially wrapped in her parachute, Karina stares, dead-eyed at what's left of her apartment building. Where her penthouse once stood, only ash and flames now rise into the sky. Tears spill down the girl's cheeks. What is Karina's reaction to realizing that Ketch and Laszlo are dead and that Darren used them to hurt her?
Well, one thing I want to say, I picked up that hidden stash talent, so we got to do that. I don't want to forget.
So just say it now, then.
I want her to
it
find
has to be something that she could have reasonably found. That's the thing with that thing.
Right, because she's like on the sidewalk, right?
Well, I mean, but yes, yeah, she's on the sidewalk.
Sorry, I thought that she had landed somewhere else.
I actually, you know what? Just go ahead and table that for a second because, like,
okay.
I've got an idea for it.
Okay, cool. So when she realizes that Darren blew up her house and everything that she had basically killed those 3 kids over,
Yeah.
she's in shock. I don't think she has any rational thoughts going through her mind other than, like, I have to get to Vasily. Vasily can fix this. Vasily can, like, fix it. He can make it better. Like, he can help.
Okay.
And the fact that that Laszlo and Ketch were, like, in the apartment is, like, she's, like, aware of it, but she's convinced that, like, he can help. Like,
Okay.
he can fix this.
It's nearly impossible to turn her head away from the carnage. She thinks about all the other tenants in the building, realizing that the casualty numbers from this attack won't be fully known for weeks or months. Her gaze shifts up into the sky at the flaming smashball stadium, which lists wildly and billows a green aerosol mist of frode venom out into the air above the city as it goes. Tiny metallic egg-shaped escape pods launch at random from one of the lower levels of the smashball stadium. They rain down on the city like comets, only to adjust their speed and slow down with tiny thrusters as they get closer. There's far too many for Karina to count. A sudden barrage of white-hot metal rails start pouring up into the sky towards the sunbeamer that Darren, Joffrey, and Emery have taken control of. The searing line of light arcs up from Lowtown, and as Karina shifts her gaze to stare down through the Tri-Cities to see where it's coming from, the girl observes the 2 massive planetary defense guns situated atop the city's prison. They're each pumping an untold amount of heat into the sky until the sunbeamer is hit. Fire explodes out from the side of the ship, followed by thick, billowing black smoke. The sunbeamer spins wildly and loses control. More rail ammo pierces through the air, ripping parts of the ship to pieces as it descends towards High City, crashing through a skyscraper to just disappear out of Karina's sightline. Somehow, through the unrelenting stress, Karina thinks to herself, if any of them survive that crash, they're not much farther than the castle than I am. Still unsure what to do, Karina struggles to push herself up when the surprise sound of a car horn brings her back to reality. Turning to look over her shoulder, the APC that had driven her and the other kids to the Smashball Stadium earlier idles on the road. The window to the driver's door is down, and security officer Nunya leans out and yells, "Karina, what the hell are you doing here? You're supposed to be up in the... Looking up into the sky at the chaos far above, Nunya takes a deep breath but is unable to fully process the situation. When a few blocks down, the sounds of automatic gunfire scream and ring out. Get in! Quick! We gotta get to somewhere. We've gotta get somewhere to safety.
She's gonna jump in and say, we have to go to Vasily now.
Sirens blare across the city, screeching in Karina's ears. As she makes her way to the idling APC, she observes people coming out from their residences and businesses to look around in confusion at the wanton destruction. As she reaches the door to open it, a blood-curdling scream tears through the night, not any more than a block away. As Karina turns to look, she sees the face of someone she's never seen before, just a random Odessan citizen with gray, mottled skin identical to Darren, Joffrey, and Emery. They've leapt onto the back of an uninfected citizen and forced them to the ground, to bite deeply into the person's spine and draw forth a gushing wave of blood. Those on the streets closest to the violence turn and flee, unready or incapable of helping. Before Karina can react, Officer Nunya reaches across the front seat and grabs a hold of the girl's wrist to yank her into the car. It's not safe out here for anyone, especially little girls. I don't care what kind of training you've had. Once she's safely inside the vehicle, Karina's mind swirls as she tries to piece together everything that's happened so far. Officer Nunya hits a button and there's a distinct click as the doors to the vehicle lock around them. The heavy military vehicle's engine thrums to life and the wheels propel the pair of you further up High City towards the Golden Cathedral.
She hopes that Raz and Bobby and Alexei are okay, because I'm sure that she can see that thing like falling towards the city.
Everyone can see it.
So she's very, very concerned. She's also concerned that like they took out the... I guess she doesn't know. She wants to ask the guy, like, is your sliver working?
He's like, no. They must have blown up one of the communications towers. None of the intercommunication within the city's working.
I mean, she has like utter faith in Vasily because of the like conversations that they've had about all of his plans. So she's trying to keep up like some kind of hope that things are they're not gonna kill everyone on the planet. But she also, like, that vampire, whatever was happening to that citizen she just saw, it's kind of news to her too. She didn't realize that they could do that. Like, or would be eating people. So that's horrifying, and she's in shock. Like,
add stress.
yeah, she's in shock.
All right.
There's no getting around it.
You know, if you want to make God laugh, you tell him your plans. So, the hallways of the Smash Ball Stadium are abject disorder and panic. People run every which way, screaming for lost loved ones, attempting to sate bleeding wounds and searching for an unlaunched 5-person escape pod. Anywhere and everywhere you look, somewhere is in distress. As the green fog of throat venom clears from Bobby's mind, he looks between the morphing, shifting faces of Roz, who just woke him up, to Alexei and Ron Johnson, who are yelling at each other. When the ringing in his ears clears up enough from Darren's sonic scream, he hears their voices more clearly as Ron attempts to yell above the sirens. Then what's the goddamn plan, big guy? Old Ron can handle his drugs, but I gotta say, bud, I'm starting to freak the fuck out here. Moving down the hallway ahead of everyone, Alexei pauses when he sees that the elevator that he'd been planning on taking everyone to is crammed full of people, and the doors are already closing. Just before they do so, however, a blood-soaked thrall of Darren's, dressed in the all-black security garb armor of local Odessan soldiers, forces its way inside. You all watch as everyone inside starts screaming and attempting to push the man out, but he leaps up and grabs hold of the ceiling just as the doors close. Screams can be heard from inside the shaft, but they disappear almost instantly as the elevator descends towards a lower level. From behind Alexei, Ron yells again, Alexei! You hearing me? Shaking off the sight. I've seen worse and kept going, Alexei thinks, unsure if that's true or not. Yes, I hear you. We have to get to the lower levels. Pointing out along the walls of the stadium, everyone sees that there's rows and rows of empty escape pod shafts. There should be more below. The control room is on the way. Maybe we can somehow attempt to restabilize the stadium. Turning to look at Roz and Bobby, Alexei kneels down and says, Boys, I know you're not soldiers, but right now you're the only people I've got capable of helping anyone. If we run into problems, our first priority has to be helping as many of them as we can. Do you understand me?
Yeah, of course. He's talking to me and Raz, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Raz was distracted by all the noise, so he didn't. He wasn't listening. So he's just staring.
Alexei just is like, Raz! Get your fucking shit together and pay attention!
All right, I'm shirtless.
And like surprised and taken aback, Ron's like, hey now, they might be good on the smash ball field, but these are kids, man. They got no place in battle. Standing up, Alexei swivels around to stare Ron in the face. Mr. Johnson, I respect your elderly wisdom, but in this situation, trust me, these two children have faced more adversity than most will in their entire lives. They fight with us. Clearly deeply concerned for the pair's lives, Ron simply just nods cautiously. He's like, oh, okay, I got it, boss. And he kind of looks nervously over at Bobby and Roz. Alexei turns around and like just runs off down the hallway, throwing up an arm to motion and yelling, everyone with me! And then he goes to follow after Alexei. Ron turns to look at the boys, focusing on Bobby. Don't worry, little guy. I won't let anything happen to you two. Everything's gonna be okay.
Mr. Johnson, it may be better if you escape to safety, sir.
I don't know if I agree. I feel like we need his help, so I'm gonna encourage him and just be like, "Be safe, Mr. Johnson!" Like echoing as he runs off.
Are you guys not following them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm following him.
I thought he was going to do his own thing.
No, he's following Alexei.
Yeah,
Wait, I need to
guess
go to
we
the
should
locker.
then.
Raz is.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I thought we were like totally naked. We need to get our shit before we.
Yeah, we need to go get
our
our armor and shit.
Alexei's like, we don't have time for that. Like, what are you talking about?
Easy for you
But
to
how
say.
are we
You
gonna-
have all your shit with you, man.
Yeah, how are we gonna help if we don't have any of our things?
What am I supposed to do?
Well, you didn't
hug
bring
them to
anything
death?
with you anyways. Like, why would you guys have brought weapons and armor to this? This is like a social
I
function.
mean, it's our standard gear. Like, just.
No, your standard gear is clothes that you walk around in. You're not
Alright.
walking
I feel like
around
all my
wearing like
clothing-
riot vests and shit.
So we just have like the power ups and shit that we had from the game, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, then let's go with them.
I guess I still feel like I'm running around shirtless.
You are.
Well, I think right now we just gotta get GTFO, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much.
Are there any
This is a momentum thing.
shops on the thing that have been abandoned? I'm just gonna steal the shirt.
Just looting shit.
Roll observation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me.
yeah.
I forgot I had stress.
Yes, Roz very much sees a shop filled with clothes, but roll a panic.
God damn it! I forgot about the panic. It's -2.
All right, so
So
you keep it together.
yeah, then I get my shirt. I'm gonna also just as I'm running past it, I'm just gonna write sorry as on the wall as I run past so I can drop a stress.
Okay. What is the shirt? What is
because you
the
just
shirt?
took it.
Yeah, I just took the shirt.
What is it? Like what does it like look like? Is it a jersey?
It's a Marky Mark shirt
Marky McMarkerson?
that says what is his slogan again? It's something
Marky McMarkerson
Mark
always
can-
hits the mark.
yeah, Marky Mark hits the mark is what it says in big letters with him just sort of like his arms raised like Shooter McGavin shooting at
Nice.
the camera.
Does Bobby also grab a shirt, or does he just like run after Ron and Alexei? Is he less concerned with his modesty than the absolute?
Can I
shit
piggyback
ass?
on the observation roll? Because I don't want to roll.
Oh, I mean,
right
Bobby
now.
would see this. I mean, Bobby very much
Yeah.
obviously sees this.
All right, yeah, I'll grab whatever shirt I can find. Some shitty like clearance rack shirt.
Yeah, it's from their ice capades for My Little Pony, My Little Space.
Yeah, yeah, some like B-rate event.
That's fantastic. It's like pastel colors with like a unicorn or something on the chest. That's great. This is like
Gotta stay positive, man.
this reminds me of Pulp Fiction, honestly. So you guys are just booking it after Ron and Alexei now, and then
I feel like we're also a little faster than them, anyways, just from our insane mobility.
you guys are very fast. Yeah, you catch up very
Yeah.
quickly for sure. Kids are crazy fast.
That's a good call.
Kids are crazy fast. Yeah, so finally reaching a servant's stairway, Alexei steadies his axe and whips the door open, ready to attack. There's nobody. Everyone this way! Both of you roll mobility. As you guys both get into the room, both of you need to roll panic before we move forward, though. Bobby's got 2 of them, Roz has 1.
Yeah, I'm the -2 as well. I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I have -2, so I have an 8, I guess.
So
plus. Yeah.
8 for Roz is going to be Tremble.
So
All
23
skills-
for me.
All skills rolling mobility is -2. And then... Oh shit. And then Bobby also starts trembling, but then just fucking passes out in the stairwell. Because he passes out because just as Bobby enters the doorway, there's just blam, 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 splang, splang, as 2 thralls further down the hallway behind you guys who still had ammunition in their assault rifles unleash a hail of blasts right at the door. All the bullets miss Bobby, instead embedding themselves in as empty metal rivulets of plasma into the door and the wall around him. He's just like, huh? It just passes out. Without hesitation, Alexei yells, "Oh, you motherfuckers!" and leaps backwards out the doorway, past Roz, swinging his laser axe as he does. More bullets are unleashed, but they hit the ground near Alexei's falling body and only glance off the side of his golden armor. His laser blade, however, soars through the air at a vast rate of speed directly towards the thralls, and when it connects, completely decapitates both once humans. Breathing heavily, Alexei pushes himself up, spits on the ground in their direction, and turns around to look at Bobby. He's like, "Oh no, he's down again." And then he just kind of like kneels down and like pats Bobby on the chest and is like, Bobby, you've got to wake up. Bobby, you've got to wake up." And then I'm gonna have him roll a command to see if he can get Bobby to wake up. Yeah, I'll say that after watching Alexei just fucking be a complete fucking badass. Well, Bobby didn't see it happen. Roz did. Roz could drop 1 point of stress.
Just
He feels a little bit safer than he did like 10 seconds ago. So Alexei, Bobby, and Ron are all in the doorway of this server elevator, just like yelling down at Bobby for him to wake up. And like Ron just kind of like leans down past everybody and like smacks Bobby on the face a bunch, like, and then like Bobby's eyes open up like, oh god. and he's awake, and he sees that yet again he is now waking up for the second time in like the Smash Ball Stadium. It wasn't a dream. It did happen. The lights are red. Flashbacks to the Cronunculus. Things not looking good.
I'm just gonna like blink my eyes slowly and like stare Ron Johnson in the face, and I'm trying to like steel myself enough to get up, but first I've got to like do something encouraging for myself and like look at my picture with Ron Johnson and see Ron Johnson in front of me and like be a little inspired to get back up, because I've just been getting fucked
Looking
all
at
day.
that picture, those pictures you guys took at the beginning of the night when everyone was happy.
Yeah,
Everybody was alive.
because I'm trying to drop some stress. There's no way I'm gonna make it if I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I'll let you drop one stress from that. Turning to look at the boys, Ron says, I knew the USAW had been developing a lot of advanced tech in the past few years, but good lord, the big guy's awesome. They make that mandatory to their military, and the PMAC is fucked. Shaking his head, he heads down the stairs after Alex.
Bobby, you've got to get it together. Raz says, using his menacing manipulation to calm him down.
All right, do it, and maybe Bobby can drop another point.
That's what,
How does that?
that's what I'm
do I have
hoping.
to roll anything?
No,
Wait.
only Roz.
Okay.
All right, it works, but you got to do it in a more aggressive voice because you're being menacing.
Oh, I'm using physical presence
Okay.
to make it more menacing.
Okay.
It's like it's his facial expression. Raz looks at him, his eyes completely devoid of light, as if he's just resolute on surviving. And it's this like same cold Raz that he saw when he first met him when he killed John David.
Okay.
It's like,
Ooh, okay.
we've got to get up.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, okay, and I'm gonna get the fuck up.
And you lose a stress, buddy. That's I love that medicine using manipulation could cause it to lose stress.
I think that it worked really well because Bobby is like actively having a PTSD flashback already about the Cronunculus, and if Roz switches into Cronunculus mode, that it would make sense that would hit something in Bobby's head that like is almost comforting because like they were working together.
They were always on the same
Right.
side
So
on the
it
Cronunculus.
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
The trek takes roughly 10 minutes as Alexei leads the group down not just one flight of stairs, but 10. The big man leaps the entire way as he goes, leaving the big man leaps flights the entire way every time he goes. So he's not walking down steps, he's just leaving flights, leaving Ron, Roz, and Bobby to catch up with him. Once they've reached the bottom, everyone's met with a long service hallway stretching both left and right. And upon seeing that Alexei is already headed down the direction towards the right, Ron goes to follow him. In the 10 minutes that Bobby and Roz have been following after the pair, they've been able to calm down 2 stress points. How were they able to do that? Like what was the process of them being able to calm down in this like legitimately horrifying situation?
Raz just silently was stealing himself, and with his every once in a while with his marker, he was twirling it in his fingers.
He wasn't marking the walls as he was going down the stairs?
Not in this situation.
Okay, cool. What about Bobby?
Yeah, I just think Bobby's getting into the flow of like go, go, go mode and not really thinking too much about what's already happened, just kind of like trying to survive.
Okay.
Raz down one of the flights of stairs turns his head to Bobby as they're running and goes, "We got to get you a stun baton. You're fucking lethal with those."
It's true.
Agreed.
It says power in the stadium shudders as the auxiliary mode struggles to maintain control over such a large station after having suffered who knows how much damage from Darren's attack. The room is up here, to our left, that door there. Alexei points, and when everyone follows his gaze, it's clear that the door to the stabilization room has been blown off its hinges and lays on the ground nearby. There are scorch marks across the walls, floor, and ceiling of the hallway around the door. Unsure if it's to the group or himself, Alexei mutters, "When I get my hand on that cocky little sociopath, I'm going to squeeze his stupid, snarky head off of his body." As he turns to face everyone, Alexei says, "I'm terrible with technology. Ares does everything for me on my ship when I'm away. Please tell me one of you has been educated enough to understand what we're looking at when we get in there."
I mean, I'm pretty okay at tech stuff. I was taught by the principal when we last saw him how to do things a little bit better.
Alex is like, "Good. All right, Rod, when we get inside, it's going to be you dealing with the computers. Everyone else, we are going to keep an eye on the door and make sure nobody can get in. Give him time." Ron just kind of like shakes his head, like nods. And he like, Alexei looks down at Bobby and he's like, "Bobby, are you ready for this? Are you okay?"
I don't think I'll ever be ready to face Darren like this.
As you approach the room, there's a thick, rancid smell that hits you all halfway there. Sadly, it's a smell that you're well acquainted with. Blood. Upon entering the room, everyone sees that there are 5 bodies scattered around the floor. 1 dead security soldier and 4 civilians. Everyone's covered in blood. At the front of the room is a large control panel with hundreds of dials, nodes, switches, and levers that oversee the countless divisions of the Smash Ball Stadium. While on the side, everyone observes, while running along through the middle of the room, everyone observes massive server towers.
Do I see the computer system?
It's these 2 middle things here. Like there's 2.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna run up to one of them and start trying to turn on the power again, right? Because they've been damaged.
Yes, and like when you get up there, you see that like there's just wires ripped out and like panels torn off. Like somebody has just like torn into like fucking shreds basically, and it's just like sparking in your face. And like when you go over to look at the other one, it's the same, but like this one has like a couple of panels that like aren't fucking damaged.
Okay, I'm gonna try to reroute them using my training from school.
Okay, it's gonna be a Comtech -3.
All right. And I know our slivers aren't currently communicating, but would local stuff still work? Like, could I still use the sliver for a +1?
It's still working.
Okay.
But there's no like Odessanet access basically.
Okay, so would it still be a -2? Because I've overhauled
I don't think so, man.
mine
Like
to begin with.
it's basically like you could like look at pictures and it's like because you can't connect to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure how busted mine was to begin with because
it's not broken at all. It's just that the communications are down. So like, well, it's not the communications aren't the right word. I mean, it's like, I mean, when I say communications, I mean like this is a one. It's like a one-all. So I mean, it's your internet, it's your phone. So I mean, it would be like if the things went down in our world and like we basically like couldn't get on the internet. This thing can't access the technology in this computer. They're separated because there's a wall of they can't communicate. So,
okay.
So like I guess it would be no.
Okay. No, I was just wondering because I know that the slivers normally give us a +1. So
the sliver doesn't have the ability to like hook in to
jack in.
To like jack into a computer or something.
You know,
with
we
USB
never tried that. Go ahead and we'll just say roll communication to see if there's like a fucking.
So just roll a basic Comtech.
Roll a basic Comtech, and we'll see if there's a. I'll give you the answer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, yes, Roz, like on the bottom wrist
that is far too low.
Is it?
Yeah, my Comtech should be 9. I don't know what the fuck that's doing.
All right, try to redo it. I mean, you succeeded.
Yeah.
So
I just want to make sure that it's rolling correctly. There it is.
Cool.
All right.
Well, you work it either way. So we're gonna go with the first one though, because you got that panic. So on the bottom wrist here, there's a little latch, and like when you pop the latch inside of the sliver, basically there's like a little like an HDMI cable that's like wrapped inside, and you can like pull it out, and then you can like plug that into the machine, and you can physically hack into it and get your +2.
Okay.
Fucking way to go, Bobby.
Yeah.
Roll your good job.
That is a 1.
Helps to be a computer nerd.
You keep it together.
All right, so I get a +2 for it being jacked directly in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only a -1 now.
Yes. From behind you all, you hear like a low, pathetic, like, "Ugh, help me," as like one of the blood-covered civilians on the ground struggles for air. All right, so you did jack in. All right, so all of a sudden, like as Roz like jacks in, the auxiliary lights in the room like flicker from red to like normal, like, and like you see like all of a sudden just like the sprinkler system's like and like starts pouring water, like not just in this room but like everywhere. Like the sprinkler system in the entire fucking floor, like this whole floor is like putting out all the fires on this level. There's 10 levels of the stadium, but this whole floor, no more fires. So like as you guys are looking around and like Roz is trying to get hacked into the system and the machine's like backfiring on him and stuff, Ron is like, we've got a live one here, and like hold on, he rushes over to kneel down next to the man, who's very old with a mostly bald head other than fringes of white hair on the side. The glasses on his face are smashed, and there's blood all across his face, cheeks, neck, and shoulders. "It's all right, sir. We've got you." Tears run down the elderly man's cheeks as Ron rolls him upright. He reaches up pathetically towards Ron and says, Thank you. Such a kind soul. I bet you taste delicious." And with terrifying speed, the elderly man, who's wearing a stadium name tag on his chest that says Eugene Pickles, reaches up and backhands Ron in the face, sending him tumbling backwards across the room. Standing up from the blood-splattered floor, old Eugene looks towards everyone and smiles, revealing sharp fangs underneath the lips. "You know, Darren said that a few of you might show up down here. Smart kid, that one. He's going places, I think." Suddenly, Eugene reaches down into his left pant pocket and pulls out a small handheld switch. "Well, maybe not as fast as any of you, however. Tell God I'll see him soon." His thumb hits the button on the switch, and a stick of C4 on the back of the control panel behind Roz explodes. The one that's already damaged, not the one you're working on. Okay. Destroying the machine and sending a shockwave of fire throughout the room. Roll mobility.
Each of us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck Eugene, dude. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. Part of me wanted to curb stomp him while he was laying on the ground, just crying, and just like stomp on his face. "Now you're dead." And then I would have dropped 1 point of stress.
Right. God damn it.
I got double.
I'm stressing.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Alright, so let me do my panics real quick here. That's a 10.
Damn it. Your stress level is decreased by 1, but every friendly character around you must make an immediate panic roll.
Bobby's is 12.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, it's 10.
It's 10.
It's, yeah.
All right, so Bobby's is freeze. God.
God.
Worse. I prefer scream.
Yeah,
frozen
scream would have
by
been way
fear
better.
For 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you goes up 1. Bobby is basically like knocked off of his feet, and like he just like slams into one of these fucking server towers over here, and like he's out for the whole first round of initiative.
Oh.
Everybody roll initiative.
Sweet.
Okay, I got
Bobby once again.
Dude,
for mobility.
I'm sorry, like I'm not rolling the fucking dice, man. We'll do it this way. It goes Roz first, then Eugene, then Bobby, then Ron.
Is Alexei not doing
but he
anything?
always goes last.
Okay. Raz is going to... So the guys over there...
The shockwave did not hit Raz. It just fucking... Like
Raz just kept working.
It did, but it didn't do any damage to him. Like he got knocked up against the server tower, but like maybe it like busted his lip a little bit, but that's it. Like
part of me wants to see if there's a button that would shoot like what is it? Like a fire extinguisher spray in the area of.
Roll contact.
That's a good fucking idea, dude.
So that he has disadvantage on shit. I don't know if that would be a thing. But
roll contact.
All right, cool. I'm going to do that.
All right. Yes. So. Dude, fire retardant is still one of the working systems, and go ahead and roll your panic. But yes, all of a sudden, like Roz, like tick, 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 and then like all like little misters across the ceiling just start like spraying foam instead of water. So the water turns off in the room, and then suddenly just like white misty foam starts spraying down on everybody like snow, like fire retardant. It's like in Eugene's eyes, and he's like, God damn it, what the hell? Like, he's like trying to like wipe it off of his face because he was like, he was under like the first blast of it. He got like a heavy dose, and then like the rest of the room was like, and like started doing it.
Is Eugene from like Michigan or something?
God damn it.
I don't know. I don't know, man. All I know is that Eugene is an 89-year-old man, and he's ready,
Oh my God.
he's ready to meet his maker.
Still working at the stadium.
Oh no, he's a plant. Eugene is an air filtration specialist who was an employee who like helped build the stadium, and like he's who helped get the Frode venom into all of the air vents after Darren hit it into poison.
So we just one up this dude at his own game.
Yeah.
I had so many successes I forgot I could just hack into this and just use my past experiences without doing anything. But I only got a 6 for my panic.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You keep it together. So then, pissed off, Eugene just kind of like ignores that Roz did that and is still trying to kill Ron Johnson.
Does he have like less?
Everyone hates on Ron, man.
Is he inhibited by his old man eyes getting blinded?
Yeah.
Eugene Pickles.
Oh man, even with a -1. Holy shit, he has a lot to hit. I'm very happy I'm not fighting him.
He's a mutant, man. He's a mutant. So
Fucking.
He's attacking Ron right now?
Yeah, he's attacking Ron. He just does 2 damage to Ron.
Womp womp.
Bobby's about to watch his hero die.
I tried to blind him. I'm sorry, Bobby.
It's now Ron's turn. So Ron, who has had the black, he's had the black smash ball with him this whole fucking time.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
We're about to see a death with the smash ball.
He rolls.
Oh, with that 10 stress, it's gonna be fucking gorgeous.
He rolls into this back corner and just like turns around and whips it and like is holding on to it, and it like jelly hands out, like launches across the room towards Eugene.
That's so many hits and so many panics.
Oh my god!
He's gonna go catatonic.
All right. So before he rolls his panic, he like, you guys watch as the smash ball just like launches out across the room, maybe like 10 feet, to like smash into Eugene's chest and like knock him back off of this little area, like onto the ground here. And then like the jelly like snaps back into Roz's hand, and he just runs towards with his slow action, steps off of the fucking table and screams at the top of his lungs, "Soaring Crusher!" And then like flies over towards fucking Eugene to do his fucking signature move. You all watch as like Ron soaring through the air, and he goes, "This one's for you, Bobby!" And like leaps into the air high above Eugene. And it's almost as like time slows down, and like as like Bobby like watches his hero soar through the air, elbow pointed like a gun, sharp and ready. The collision comes fast as the large man comes down, connecting with the top of Eugene's head. There's a deafening crack as the old man's skull splinters. Black blood pours immediately from both nostrils and his ears as he crumples to the ground. Without hesitation, Alexei walks over, lights up the edge of his axe, and swiftly presses it down into the motionless Eugene's neck to sever his head.
Does doing something so fucking cool drop our stress at all?
Hold on. Slowly, Alexei turns around to face everyone, and with a heavy sigh, he says reluctantly, "This station is unsalvageable. It's coming down. We don't have any more time. We cannot stop this. We have to save as many people as possible to make sure they escape. Are you all still with me?" And Ron is the first to speak. He puts a hand out into the middle of the group, like hand thing. He goes, "Never thought I'd go out saving the people I spent a big part of my life fighting against from space vampires, but I'll say this. If I do, it'll be a hell of a tombstone. I'm with you, big guy." What?
Roz like reaches his little hand out and he's like, "I need a weapon."
I don't think Bobby's very enthusiastic at this point. I don't think
you saw the coolest thing Ron Johnson has ever done.
And then
but it was as I was like coming to, wasn't it?
No, like it was the first thing Bobby saw after he came to.
Yeah, I feel like I'd still be kind of shocked at the whole situation.
Yeah, Ron,
like I'm just like a little reluctant, you know.
Ron like all of a sudden like reaches up and like grabs at the wound on his chest, and he just kind of like wavers and then like stumbles and like falls to the ground like oh, like and falls under the ground unconscious, and like the black smash ball rolls out of his hand towards Raz's feet.
Raz picks up the black smash ball. I've got it, bud.
Alex is like, oh no, run, Jonathan, he's fallen.
We need to get some med packs like ASAP.
Alex is like, I agree with you, and he like leans down and like throws Ron like over his shoulder, and he's like, come on, we need to go find the med bay. And then like Alex runs out of the room with Ron over his shoulder.
With all my successes that I've had on this comtech, could I have it send all of the excess power to the thrusters to help slow the descent?
Yes, you can.
Then I would like to
call.
do that.
That does happen, and like you guys basically drop the speed basically goes from you guys dropping like 800 feet per second to like 200 feet per second. So like a pretty hefty like you feel the station kind of shift slowly. Like you still feel that like you're kind of moving and like listing and like it's like a boat almost. You know, you're rocking on waves as like the ship's going as the thing's going down, but like not at the like, you know, you've been kind of doing this for the last like 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Bobby, are you doing all right?
Don't fucking let me go down again, dude. I'm counting on you to like keep me up at all costs.
I mean, I'll do my best. Just hold that photo and calm down, and we'll get through this. Raz says as he's like kind of still clutching on his graffiti marker to calm himself down in the process.
I'm gonna show it to both of us since we were all in it. I'll be like, this is what we're fighting for, dude.
Fucking Jordy needs to be.
Oh, Jordy's in it too. Fuck.
He's so happy in it. Like
he scored he scored one of our 2 points. He deserved better. We're gonna avenge him.
This one's for Jordy.
And then the two of them run out of the door after Alexei. The APC, driven by Officer Nunya, barrels up the singular High City freeway leading towards the cathedral and blazes toward a guard barricade that would normally hold only 3 guards, but Karina sees now that it's manned by a full squadron of 10. When they're close enough, Nunya slows the APC down to a full stop and rolls the window to yell, "What in the hell are you all doing standing around here wasting time?" One of the officers steps up and says, "Orders came in from base command, sir. Upon any kind of terror attack on the city, first priority is securing the High Castle." With a hand raised to the sky, Officer Nunya points at the shifting, burning smashball stadium. "The castle has its own security. When that thing comes down, we're going to need as many people in the war bunkers as possible. You got to get out there and help them. Do you understand?" And the officer just kind of nods, saying, like, "Yes, sir. I have to call my superior." But and like raising his voice over the man, Nunya points to the rank on his chest and says, "Do you see this? You know what it means? I am Bogatir 17, and my orders supersede whatever you've been told from High Command. I've spoken with Lord Vasily himself, and his orders are to focus everyone available in the city. Do we have a problem, Lieutenant?" Like looking around at the men around him, the soldier steadies his gun and shakes his head. "No, sir. Everyone with me." At that, Karina watches the group of the 10 soldiers run at a uniformed pace away from the castle gates, down the ramp towards the city. With a foot down on the pedal, Nunya guns the engine back to life, and the APC lurches forward towards its final destination. "How you doing over there, kid? This shit's wild, huh? Darren really did what he said he was going to do. Gotta give it to him. Between you and me, I wasn't sure he'd be able to pull it off."
Can she open the door and just like no, Jeff.
Yeah, can we not talk anymore?
That door is definitely locked.
I know. Can I want to have done something that I forgot to say, if that's okay, or she can do it now, maybe. Because she has med kits, and I want her to inject herself.
Yeah,
quick.
you can be at full health.
Okay. Yeah, she needs.
She was just stabbing herself with.
Well, she's stressed out, and I'm stressed out now. I don't. He pulled it off. Yeah, I was gonna say, can she look at him and see if he's gray?
So he's got his face thing down partially over his you can see the bottom of his mask. So roll observation because it's nighttime and it's dark.
You could also just ask if he's sketchy then.
Oh yeah. All right, roll your panic. And like this is like the first time like she was overwhelmed by stress. Okay,
It's a 7.
so it's a 7. So she was overwhelmed by stress after everything that she's been through. She was like just stabbing herself with needles to like fucking heal up. She's focused on being in this car and safe. Like the idea of him being dangerous potentially, the idea of her getting in the car of a strange man being dangerous didn't really fucking like click until essentially too late. And she looks over as he says that, like kind of like her eyes have adjusted to the darkness after the couple minutes that she's been sitting in the car, and she sees that like the bottom of his mouth is like definitely concrete gray, and like his lips are like cracked with like black and stuff. And like as this is happening, and this realization is dawning, and like Nunya parks the APC. They've reached the tarmac, the rear tarmac of the cathedral. And like Nunya parks the APC roughly about 100 yards away from the envoy entrance that Crane is used to using. He's driving straight ahead, just kind of like smiling, like waiting for her to talk. And like she sees that there's like 3 Sunbeamer ships parked in their spaces, along with Alexei's personal ship that brought her here, the Nemeus, parked at the end of the row. When the APC comes to a stop, Officer Nunya like just like slowly turns his head and like looks over at Crane, and he goes, "You know, I was coming here to kill Vasily. That was my job. He needed someone with top security, and really, who better than the poor fool they picked to drive you little precious assholes around all day? How lucky was I to see you laying out there on the road? You know, he told me you were all off limits, but I don't see him around here anywhere. Do you? What's so wrong with a little white lie, right? What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Besides, slowly a thick, pale, pulsing, armored slug spills out of Nunya's mouth where his tongue should be. The creature has a small face with elongated eyes and fanged mandibles. Its lower stomach body is covered with bladed teeth, and as it slithers out of the man's face, licks a stream of thick iridescent goo along his cheek as he finishes. I've been starving all day. Inside the front seats of the APC, Officer Nunya leaps towards Karina in the passenger seat, ready for his feast. But as he does so, he knocks loose the standard issue Odessan shotgun that had been secured in between the front seats, causing it to fall directly into the girl's lap. The surprise causes Nunya to pause briefly enough to lock eyes with Karina as she looks from the gun back up to him. Roll initiative. And that is your hidden stash.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh. Good one.
All right, so you guys tie. So roll your panic, but because you roll your panic, the tie is canceled out. You don't fucking stress, but he does do 2 damage. So he like slashes out and basically like just like slashes down Karina's arm, like digging into, like just drawing blood immediately. There's like slashes across her arm.
Okay. She's gonna try to shoot him in the face.
Okay.
That's close combat, right? Because it's short range.
It definitely is close combat. And
wait, aim, Karina.
I want to aim, and then shoot him in the face.
all right. Yeah,
Karina like remembers Raz's voice in her head saying, "Aim, Karina, aim!"
Yes. It's like because they're like both kind of tripping on the Frode venom. It's like she like senses Bobby like she senses Roz like yelling at Ron Johnson to like aim the smash ball like. All right, roll your panic.
It's a 7.
Bro, all right, so his armor failed. So you have 2 hits, which means that you did 6 damage on this motherfucker. All right, it's a 7. Nervous twitch. So yeah, basically like he like leans forward and like slashes at her, and Karina like leans back and just like pulls the shotgun, and like as she's like it scratches her arm, but the blast just like blows up into his chest and face and like shadows the window behind him, and he like kind of like stumbles back out like through the window where he's like half in the car and half out, where his body's like hanging out of the car, and like he starts to like get up to like sort of like push himself back into the car, and like because of that he's lost this turn, and Karina gets to go again.
Okay. She's gonna aim and try to shoot him again.
Okay. All right, so she blasts him, and he like basically yells out in pain and like pushes himself out of the window, and you see him like disappear outside of the APC. Like crouches down, like you don't see where he's at.
She's going to try to get out of the car.
All right, you do. You successfully get out.
She's still got her helmet on. I don't know if that does
Collar.
literally anything on the ground, but okay, she'll get out of the car, and I guess she's gonna try to see where he went.
Okay.
Observation, I guess.
Yeah, roll observation. All right. So as she gets out of the car, like looks around, and she hears him like skittering around, like around the backside of the car, and then all of a sudden the APC kind of like like moves, and like as she turns to like look back up, he's like standing above her, about to like leap down and attack.
Okay, well, she'll try to dodge it then, I guess,
But
because she sees him coming.
as you're out there, like all of a sudden you hear sirens just spill out somewhere from the castle, like. So roll mobility. All right, very successful. So like as Karina's like looking back up towards Nunya standing on top of the car, he's like, "I'm about to bite your face off." All of a sudden, she looks like past him. Her eyes like refocus, and she sees that there's like these two miniguns that are like on the castle, like spinning up to like start firing at you. And like she drops down to the ground just as the miniguns are like, and like she looks up from where she's at, like laying on the ground, and sees that they're doing that with a burst of speed. She drops down. It's just a hail of bullets soars down directly above them, completely obliterating Nunya into like just a black cloud of dust. There's like barely anything left of him above the thighs. And like soon the sirens like stop screaming in her ear, and like Karina looks around in the cool night air to see that she's now entirely alone on the tarmac. There's no danger or obstacles remaining between her and the cathedral's side entrance.
He wants to check to see if he's got, well, his body's gone, but if there's anything like, did he have like a key card or anything that she would need to get in?
Of him, but like the knees down.
So pockets? Oh, knees down.
Yeah.
Cargo pants?
No, he's like, he was like loud.
Can she look through the car real quick and see if she can find anything that she might need?
Absolutely. Roll observation. What is she looking for?
She's looking for any kind of like a ID or a key card or like something that she might need.
Yeah.
All right, so she's gonna take the key card or whatever she found, like to try to be able to get into the building, because she's on the hangar, right? They're like on the tarmac.
Yeah. It's like 100 yards to the side door, which is where she's gone in before from like skydiving and stuff.
Okay, so she's gonna try to run inside and find someone who's not gray.
Okay, all right. So as that happens, inside the Smash Ball Stadium, Bobby, Roz, Alex, and Ron, after having made their way to the nearby medical station, you see that there's, auto docks and, regular surgical stations. There's like ice baths. There's like a big bath of like Metagel where like the guys would basically like go and like take a nap inside the Metagel, and it would just like completely fucking heal them over the course of a couple hours. It's the stuff that is in your med kits, but like a big fucking like bathtub of it basically. Instead of water, it's like dark blue gelatin. So then you guys got in there. Ron woke up. Ron was woken up. Alexei hit him with a shot of adrenaline. And everybody's now at full health because they are all just like jacking themselves with medkits. And if you need, you can also roll observation to see if there might have been a couple extra packs that you could take with you on the way.
Then I'm going to roll observation looking for sharp implements.
Okay.
Sharp items.
How does observation work? Like, he's declaring what he wants to look for. Is it like one item? Like,
well, I'm just saying what my intention was. If I find something else because of a good roll, then
right. Like
that's good.
If he says I'm looking for,
or I found nothing.
Right. You want to push it?
Push it.
No, I'm good. I have to roll.
All right. Roz is like walking around looking for sharp items, but he can't find any. Like this isn't really.
He's ignoring all the med packs and all the health gear.
Yeah. This isn't so much a surgical suite as like a recovery suite. What's Bobby looking for while they're in there? Because Alexei is kind of like at the door, ready to get going.
I'm looking for med packs and what are like the critical injury kits?
Okay.
Like preferably critical injury kits at this point.
Very, very good call, bud. Very good call. Roll an observation.
Sport.
Brian's fucking on fire with ideas tonight. All right, yeah. So Brian does find like a pack that he could sling over his chest, like a little medevac, and it's just like filled, like I'd say like 15 med kits and 5 critical surgical kits.
Hell yeah.
On your way here, you guys did make it up 2 flights of stairs and did actually help save 50 people get to different escape pods, like before you got to the medical bay. And as you guys are in the medical bay getting ready to leave, and Alex is like watching Roz and Bobby like search for items to protect themselves and the others, the weight of the realization that it's getting harder and harder to locate an escape pod starts to settle directly on Alex's consciousness.
Raz is sort of in this like state of shock, as if he's being pulled back into the life his father had been preparing him for, which was just eat or be kill or be killed, like mindset where it's just he's in full survival mode, where he's also just thinking about the Cronunculus and how to protect Bobby from going catatonic again, like he did with the nuclear Emperor Goblin. And he's also a little bit worried about Karina. Just the fact that she's alone really isn't good.
Yeah, definitely not good. I think like I'm feeling a lot more ready to go than I was. Like, obviously was coming out of like this crazy dream about the Cronunculus and like being like kind of trippy and just in total like shock about everything that was going on. But Bobby's finally like coming to terms with what we have to do now, and I'm like better equipped than I was to keep everyone alive and take care of like survivors if need be. And yeah, I'm just really ready to like avenge my friend Jordy and like try and keep us all safe.
Okay, cool. As you guys follow Alex and Ron after the room, and you're all making your way through up to another floor, making a way kind of around, looking for essentially kind of people to help them, maybe ways to escape. From an offshoot hallway in front of the group, everyone hears a man scream, "You get away from her!" And as you turn the corner around an empty center roll, you see your therapist, Dr. Edmonton, grappling with one of Darren's security thralls. Nearby, his wife screams in panic and throws her purse at the creature. "Leave us alone! Oh, God, please stop this!" And when the thrall breaks loose from Dr. Edmonton's grip and slashes him across the face with his jagged nails, she screams, "Jerry, no!" As if summoned by her scream, 2 more thralls appear at the end of the hallway behind you and start sprinting towards everyone. Thankfully, Ron sees them and puts his hand on Alex's shoulder to say, "Big man, we got a problem here." When Alex turns around to see the approaching mutants, he says to Bobby and Roz, "Go help Dr. Edmond. I've got this." What do
I don't care if it's lethal, but I'm gonna try to Indiana Jones whip this fucking thrall induced dude over to me and Bobby, like trying to drag him. I'm trying to set up a combo where Bobby fucking just lays him out when he comes closer.
Okay, so you guys aren't on this map, but I'm going to put you on here just for, like, distance purposes.
Yeah, no worries.
Because...
and Bobby's, like, unarmed, right? Like, I just have my
yeah, you
fist.
just have your fists. But me and you are the close combat guys. So I guess if I use the smash ball to whip someone to us... I'm trying to, like, slap hand him to us. Okay, I'm aiming and trying to just snatch him away from the doctor and his wife to Bobby.
Oh, you're yanking the thrall? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm yanking the thrall to us.
Okay.
So that he gets fucked up.
Okay.
Bobby. Like, if it works, I'm hoping that he'll be like flying backwards, and then Bobby just fucking punches him into the ground, like fucking.
Roz yells that, like, "Gang stomp him, Bobby!" Like.
Yeah.
Something.
All right. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Right. Roll your panic.
Nice.
Bobby watches as Roz like throws the like extendable jelly, like the black extendable jelly smash ball out, and it like, because this is we have the 3 tiers of smash balls. Like this is the like 3rd tier.
The largest.
The largest and most dangerous. So the spikes on this one actually like stick into this guy like 2 inches, and because it's jelly, it like forms around his chest, and like when it like comes to like snap back towards Roz, actually like yanks this dude off of his feet. He like tumbles down onto the ground, kind of between you guys. So Dr. Edmonton is behind him, and he's like kind of on the ground, like holding his like slashed face, and his wife runs over towards him to like comfort him and like see that he's all right. As the thrall like and like kind of like pushes himself up and like sees Roz and just like kind of like starts growling, like, and its fangs are showing, and he like goes to like leap up to attack the 2 of you guys. And
You've got a prescription for an ass kicking motherfucker.
roll initiative. This motherfucker leaps through the air towards Roz to
Can I dodge?
Yep.
Well, I dodged one of them.
All right.
And
So
slash.
that's 2 damage to Roz. So still attached to the thing, the creature, the thrall, the thing that used to be a human, just launches forward, and like Roz sees it coming, but it's just fast. I mean, this thing is supernaturally quick, and its teeth are gnashing. The blade slug is just like spiraling out in its face, like it's just like coming to fucking come get at him, and it just swings a claw forward and slashes across this just t-shirt that Roz is wearing, just drying blood across his shoulder and chest.
I think I should just fucking smack him. What do you think, Roz?
Definitely kill him. Don't play a game with these guys, please.
Well, I mean, all I can do is
Punch him into death.
Run the +2 close combat and punch him. That's
Well,
pretty much all I got.
you have close combat. That's still a 10. That'd still be.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
So like Bobby comes in and like throws 2 punches first, but it's like gut punches, and they just kind of deflect off of this dude's body armor. And then with his 3rd punch, he like swings up and just like connects with this dude's fucking jaw, doing 1 damage and like knocking him back. It doesn't kill him, but it does a damage and like knocks him back a little bit. Bobby, roll your panic. You keep it together.
That's a 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Raz, with the smash ball, I guess, still attached to this guy, is going to like. He's gonna swing the smash ball, like, and the guy into the ground and wall, like, just repetitively, trying to flail him.
Oh shit, dude, he's still attached to it.
Yeah, it's still stuck to his body.
So
Damn,
I'm trying
up.
to use him like just fling him around, sort of like Loki.
Okay.
All right, so all right, then I'm gonna do hard hitter. This is close combat, right? So
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're close enough.
all right, cool. All right. Only one.
All right, so you do yank him sort of like away from Bobby, because you see that like after Bobby's fist like collides with the guy's face, he basically goes to like spear Bobby through the stomach with his claw hand. Roz yanks him to the side, and it like goes wild through the air, and it does 2 damage. So as that happened, this guy basically like you just sort of like yank him to the side hard enough that the smash ball rips out of his body, and like a bunch of like just blood just kind of like spills off of his like chest, and he falls to the ground like basically like unable to do anything right now. He's at 0, so if one of you wants to come over to finish this, you can.
What Raz does is after he like lands on the ground, Raz jumps up and then like lands with the heel of his boot, like, because he has those Doc Martens, like right on the guy's jugular, and then like twists his foot and goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it just completely like crushes this guy's windpipe. He's laying there struggling to breathe, and like you see that like the slug in his mouth like starts to like turn purple and like swell up, and it's just like it looks like it's about to try to like rip out of its mouth to try to crawl away to escape.
I'm gonna stomp on the worm's head. It's like out of his body, right?
It's like on the side of his face. It's still it's part
shit.
of him. It's like, or it's like mutated. Like okay, so it replaced his tongue. It ripped his tongue out and like replaced his tongue. So like it's still in there, and it's trying to rip itself out of his mouth to get away. So it's like
what's a fucking slug? How fast is it?
It's like that parasite that like attaches itself to fishes, and then their tongues are.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, that thing's so gross. Just stomp his head in. I just like the picture of Raz and Bobby stomping on this guy's head.
Like the printer scene from Office Space.
Yeah, like the printer.
Oh yeah, that's.
Die,
I was
motherfucker, die,
gonna do that anyways, so let's do it.
So you guys just gang stomp this thing?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, as you're like crushing your feet against like the side of this guy's head, basically, you see the slug just squish under the boots, like just like across his face, and it like keeps twitching. But like as you guys keep stomping, basically, and like crush this dude's like head like smaller and smaller in the pace. I guess like imagine you just both screaming at the top of your lungs together, like releasing a bunch of adrenaline and stress. Although you don't lose any stress because you just killed someone. Although Roz just did, Bobby doesn't. So as the thrall dies, Roz and Bobby both instinctively turn to look back over to LSA to see that both he and Ron stand triumphant as well over the group of interlopers. Many arms, heads, and legs of the thralls lay scattered around the ground, while Ron and Alexei are covered in their blood. Dr. Edmonton's wife rushes to his side and drops down to the ground to hold him. Oh my God, thank you. Is he gonna be okay? And like though the slash across his like chin and chest is deep and blood has spilled heavily, Dr. Edmonton will likely survive. And he kind of like reaches up and like brushes the side of his wife's face with his hand, like, oh, I'll be all right, Laura, I'll be all right. And the doctor.
All right, doctor. You got to get
Dr. Edmonton, thank you for everything you've done, but get the fuck out of here.
Get to safety, sir.
And like the doctor stares back at you guys as you're like saying this with tears in his eyes, and he just kind of like smiles and he goes, thank you, boys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And like his wife rushes forward to both of you boys to like pull you into a tight embrace and hugs you. Thank you, my little heroes, thank you. What do the boys say and do?
All right.
And when she lets go of the pair, Laura Edmonton turns to her husband to help him stand. He does so shakily, holding a hand against the wound on his chest, or on the side of his face. He goes, he holds a hand up shakily and points. We were going to a pod. There. With his free hand, Dr. Edmonton points to an open door at the end of the hallway. It's the only one we could find that hasn't launched. The red lights above everyone's head flicker in and out, casting the hallway before you repeatedly in periods of pure darkness. It's been a while since the majority of the screaming has died down, and you haven't seen any other civilians for a few minutes. As Alexei and Ron rejoin the group, Ron yells, "Let's go, Ron yells, "Let's go, everybody!" Out of nowhere, the screeching roar of like a square like spills into the hallway from somewhere behind you. And when you all turn to look, another thrall dressed in the black security garb appears, followed by another, and another, and another, until there are 7 standing in a group. Dr. Edmonton's wife screams, but Ron grabs a hold of her arm and yanks her down the hallway as he starts running, lifting Dr. Edmonton up into his arms like a cradled baby. Everyone hears Alexei yell, "Run! To the escape pod! Go! Now!"
As we're running, is he still attached to my black smash ball?
It ripped off. It ripped off.
Because I want to drag him with us because I want his armor.
It ripped off of him, remember?
Oh, okay. Then I'm grabbing him by the armor and carrying his corpse with me.
Roll mobility.
All right.
Can I help him out?
Yes, but both of you roll mobility -2 because
Mobility
you're carrying
-2.
a dead man's body as a fucking horde of 7 space vampires are like chasing after you.
This is epic, though. We gotta do this.
Alexei sees it and he's like, "What are you doing?"
I'm pushing it.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm pushing it.
He's too heavy. Oh my God!
Oh,
so, the 2 of you guys like struggle to get him up, and Bobby's like, "I'm not doing this," and starts running. And Raz left alone is like, just like
Raz realizes that Bobby was holding him down instead of helping him pull him. And just starts running with his corpse on one arm.
Raz just like throws this man over his shoulder and like starts running towards the escape pod, and like his head is just like loosely flopping because like it's barely attached to his body, covering blood all over your body. Like Raz is now soaked in blood.
Whatever.
But it's like black, goopy, pale, pearlescent, gross, sludgy blood.
That's fun.
And as you all reach the open pod, Ron piles in with Dr. Edmonton and his wife, followed by Raz and Bobby. who both realize very quickly that the pod is very much at capacity. Turning around, they see that Alexei stands in the doorway, his face haphazardly revealing in the flashing red light. Behind him, the 7 screaming thralls descend, edging ever closer. There's no fear or panic in his eyes when Alexei reaches into the pod and hands his axe to Bobby. Listen to me.
Oh, snap.
Listen to me now. The 2 of you have to go help Karina. You're the only ones who can. He looks kind of over his shoulder, and they're just getting closer and closer, and he goes, she's alone out there against all of this. Do you understand? You have to go help her. You have to go help her save Vasily in the city. This is what you've been training for. Take this. And then he like looks at you both, and he goes, I know that Alexei Derganev will never die. And like he reaches into the pod and slams a red button on the wall just inside the door, and you all watch as they close. Through the pod's window, you watch as Alexei turns around and reloads his fists, just as the throng overtakes him, and as the pod launches you all out of the station. Stars replace flashing red lights, and you see the outside of the stadium for the first time as the new explosions continue to find their way across the exterior hull. Below you, the city of Odessa approaches fast. Inside the cathedral, Karina runs down nearly empty hallways. As she moves across the golden reflective floor, a trail of blood droplets follows her from the wound on her arm. Upon reaching Vassily's study, she sees that there are 2 armored Bogatyr soldiers guarding the doorway. When the pair of them see her, one of them raises up his gun, but the other reaches out quickly to stop him. Stand down, she's a friendly. After the second Bogatyr reaches to open the door, he says to Karina, get inside, it's safe in there.
I want to make sure that they're not gray.
They are not gray.
They look like real people. Okay.
Dude, this is getting crazy.
Huh?
Can't trust nobody.
I'm gonna run inside, I guess. Wait, I'm gonna say, is Vasily in there?
Yes, he's in there.
Okay, we'll go inside.
All right, so upon entering the room, Karina sees Vasily standing at the room's large floor-to-ceiling windows. He stares up at the drifting, slowly dropping stadium. Standing by his side is Markitha, who holds on to Vasily's arm. Surrounding the pair is a group of the household servants, each face stricken with panic and fear.
She's gonna run up to Vasily and say, it's Darren, it's all Darren.
He turns around and he like hears her, and he's like, what are you talking about?
Darren caused this. He's some kind of monster. I don't know. He had like he's got wings. He's turning people into monsters. The man who picked me up, our driver, was one of them, and she'll like throw his like badge on the ground, and she'll say, they blew up our home. Then the thing is crashing down, and Alexei and Raz and Bobby are still in the stadium.
And Vasily like looks down at the bloody badge, and then like turns to look up to the stadium, and he goes, yeah, Alexei is up there. So you're telling me that Darren has been some kind of mutant. There is some kind of... He's no longer human.
Yes.
And he orchestrated all of this.
I mean, he claimed responsibility for it, yes.
And like Vasily is just like clearly like struggling to like react to this bombshell of information. And he goes, I told Alexei to kill him. And then he like turns away from the window and everyone and walks over towards his like desk to take a seat. And he's quiet for a few moments thinking about what like Karina's saying. And like Markitha like runs over and she goes, oh my god, my dear, you've been wounded. And then she like kind of like snaps her fingers at like one of the servants and she goes, quickly, med bandages. And like one of them like pulls out like a little pack out from under her robes, and it's like a little clear case that she pulls out, and it's sort of like a long clothing wrap that's been soaked in Metagel, and they like come over and kind of like bandage up Karina's arm. And I'll say that she's back at full health. It doesn't happen immediately, but like over the course of a couple minutes, like it heals the wound enough that like it's not like a gaping fucking wound anymore.
Okay. I think because this is like the first time she's felt safe in like, I don't know how long. She has no idea how long it's been. But she's just kind of trying to like pay attention to like the pain and it like feeling better, and she's not gonna say anything to the people that are helping her.
And like Vasily looks over and he goes, "Do you know if Alexei's alive?"
I don't. He told me to come to you, and I jumped from the stadium. So the last time I saw him, he was trying to. I think he was trying to wake Bobby up. Bobby had been knocked out before, like when Darren was Darren. He had commandeered like a ship while I was flying down to the cathedral, but it looks like the security system shot it down.
And he's like thinking about it. And he's like, I've got no doubt that freakish monstrosity survived the plane crash. But he will very likely be coming here to deliver upon us whatever twisted sense of vengeance he's concocted in his mind. This has all got to be about me. If taking the castle itself is his plan of attack, I must turn it into a battlefield. I cannot have Marquita, cannot have any of these people put in the line of danger because of a mistake I made. I need you to get them and yourself to safety. There is a secure bunker upstairs in Alexei's room. You remember how to get there, yes? Take Marquita and the others there and lock yourselves inside until this is over. Nobody will be taking my castle today, not while I'm still alive. Can you handle this, Karina? Are you ready?
Yes. I think you might have a little bit more time than you think, because Darren sent Nunya to kill you, and I can't imagine that, he thought he would fail so easily because he's dead. So you might have a little bit of time to gather people together.
Did you kill this man, Nunya?
I wounded him, but the security system got him.
And at that, Vasily presses one of the golden buttons on his vest, on the vest of his suit jacket, and a similar, bulkier suit of armor to Alexei's built itself around his body from the secure placement on his back. Just before the mask closes around the Lord of Gold's face, he gives Karina not a look of leadership and power, but instead one of trust and compassion. Do not fail me.
She's gonna turn around and say, "You heard him, let's go." All and right. Kind of like put her hands up to try to stewardess them, because she knows where she's going.
So the very elderly, Markeith is in her mid to late 70s. She kind of like snaps at everybody, and like she follows after you first, and all of the other servants kind of like head after you. And you guys make your way out of the room, past the Bogatyr soldiers, down the hallways, up to the staircase that you know leads up. And having made your way through the hallways of the cathedral and up a flight of stairs to the winding wing that houses Vasily, Alexei, and Markeith's private rooms, Karina ushers everyone forward, taking a look at the wall of family portraits as she goes, particularly locking her gaze with the painted eyes of Vasily's most distant ancestor, his great-grandmother and founder of the colony, Ivana Lev. A screen from the front of the group shakes Karina's focus, and as she pushes through to the front, feels her hopes drop when she sees that standing there casually leaning against the wall is Joffrey. And he looks over and he goes, "Oh my, look at this. I was hoping Big King V would show up here to hide, but hey, you might just be second best."
She'll raise her shotgun.
I heard about you. You're the little scared one. You're the one afraid to do any dirty work herself. You're the one who just stands behind the others and tells them what to do. What are you going to do with that big gun, little girl? Think you're going to do something with that big gun?
She's going to aim and try to shoot him in the face.
All right. So, Karina just, like, pulls the trigger and fires, but Joffrey is too fast. Like, moves to the side and just, like, blows a part of the wall off. He laughs and he goes, "Oh! So you are tougher than he said. Oh, okay. Big man doesn't know everything." And then, like, stepping up from behind Karina, Markeith points a finger at Joffrey and yells at him, "Young man, I don't particularly know what your malfunction is, and I don't rightly care. This is my family's home, and you are trespassing. You are not welcome here." Like, pushing himself off the wall to stand in the center of the hallway and face them, Joffrey smiles. "You want to know what my malfunction is, you old bitch? Here you go. Take a look." Like, suddenly, Joffrey's jaw drops down, cracking out of place to extend down in, like, an otherworldly angle. Sharp fangs line the place where his teeth would be, and a slithering, snapping, bladed and fanged mutant slug screeches its tiny war cry into the air. Shaken, Markeith stumbles backwards into the group of her employees, and many of them scream and turn to run. Laughing above their screams, Joffrey slowly walks down the hallway towards the group as Karina struggles to reload, or as struggles to, like, She like pops the gun, but one of the shells gets jammed. He's like, "Oh, did I ruin your plans? Did you come up here to hide like little turtles in your turtle shells?" Well, Big Bad Wolf's got himself quite an appetite. Turtle stew sounds mighty tasty right about now.
She's gonna try to shoot him again. Ugh, God. She's not been doing well at these.
He swivels an AK-47 out from behind and aims it into the crowd, just down the hallway at all of you.
She's gonna, I guess, try to dodge. I mean, she can't take bullets for people, so she's got her vest on now. But
all right, he fires directly at Karina. Roll your armor. Yeah, so it deflects off of your armor as like Karina like leaps to the side.
okay, she's gonna try to shoot him. Oh no!
Hey, it hit though, and
Okay.
yeah, you fucked him up good. Karina leaps to the side, blam, like blows like a big like chunk of Joffrey's chest off, just like shreds through his shirt, shreds through his jacket. He's like, ah! And it like just blows him backwards and like throws him up against the wall of the hallway, and he's like coughing up his like black blood, and then like suddenly, as Karina like cracks the shotgun again to like fire back down him, Markeitha yells at the top of her lungs, "Everyone down!" And like when Karina like turns, she sees that like standing at the end of the hallway are the two Bogatyr soldiers that have been protecting Vasily Study, and they've got their weapons raised towards Joffrey. Roll a mobility. All right. So you do successfully drop quickly to the ground, and you keep your panda together, and like once they've got a clear shot, as Karina hits the floor, each of them open fires down the hallway at Joffrey. He's hit multiple times, and, like screams in pain, but disappears around a corner out of view. He like yelling, like, "Is it over?" Like rushing through the crowd of servants and Karina, the two Bogatyr soldiers follow after Joffrey, turning the corner, and opening more fire, and you hear like a window break somewhere in the distance. Without hesitation, Markeitha runs towards Alexei's room, followed by the handful of servants and Karina. None of them died. None of them even got hurt. Once inside the room, Karina slams the door shut and locks it as Markeitha says, "The safety protocol room's over here." And for the first time ever, Karina is in Alexei's personal bedroom. As her gaze takes the room in, she's stopped in her tracks when she sees a particularly large holographic picture of a family. Vasily, his wife, his daughter, Alexei, and Markeitha. It's the only time Karina's ever seen Vasily smiling. When her eyes drift down to the young blonde girl standing in front of him, she sees a smile on her face. Karina sees an immediate resemblance to herself in the girl who's only a few years older than her. From behind her, Karina hears Markeitha speak. "I see why my son and Alexei care for you. You remind them of her. You remind me of her as well. Losing Allie and her mother almost destroyed us all. Alexei was inconsolable for months. She was like a little sister to him. After you came here with the others, I believe he found a reason to smile again." And as Karina turns around to look at Markeitha, she sees that the bookshelf behind the old woman has slid to the side to reveal the open, surprisingly high-tech security room. The servants have all gathered inside, and as Karina walks forward, sees that in the center of the room are 4 silver, identical child-sized Bogatyr armors identical to the one Alexei had provided for Nux. At the bottom of each is a nameplate. When the girl's eyes fall upon the one that says Karina Cranston, a roaring flame of justice ignites within her very soul.
I am so excited.
She's desperate for more information, but she knows it's not the time. So she's going to say to Markeitha, "Can I take that?"
She looks at you and she goes, "Baby, I think your name's written right on it."
Okay, she's gonna push if I can put it on.
All right. In her head, she's like, hears like a voice, like a distant like female voice, like a comforting voice that like she feels like she's met somewhere before in her life, but can't place it. And the voice just says to her, "It's vampire killing time."
she's gonna put it on and then like look at the nameplates of the other one.
It says Bobby Payne, Razmataz, and Darren Pullman.
Oh.
The escape pod containing Roz, Bobby, Ron, Dr. Edmonton, and his wife gently sets down on the roof of a casino in High City. Once secured on the ground, the door pops off and a cool rush of night air spills into the pod around everyone. As Bobby steps out onto the roof, he sees other pods landing across the city. Behind them, as Ron steps out and surveys the landscape, he says to himself, "Good Lord, this isn't good. Boys, your doctor friend here's losing a lot of blood. If I don't get him to a hospital, he's gonna die. I hate to say it, but this is where we part. It was a pleasure playing against you, Bobby Payne. If we make it out of all this, find me when you're older. We'll make you a hell of a smashball super." And then all of a sudden, the massive, twisting, rending scream of metal ripping and tearing shatters the sky of Odessa as the cable that has been pumping oxygen up into the stadium finally buckles and breaks under the pressure put on it by Darren's sunbeamer. Your jaws drop as the 30,000-foot cable collapses backward in on itself, tumbling down towards the city, crashing in a massive shake that levels a line across Lowtown, Undertower, and High City, demolishing hundreds of buildings in its descent, killing thousands in an instant. The huge cable falls far out into the jungle, away from the city, colliding hard into the city's Terminator wall and ripping a huge portion of the debris out to completely obliterate part of the military base, the prison, and destroy the massive planetary defense guns along with it. The shockwave hits everyone hard, lifting Roz off his feet to throw him backwards across the roof. Bobby, roll mobility to grab Roz.
Just kill Roz?
You're the lightest weight. You're the lightest weight one.
Oh, rude.
Hey, it's facts.
Oh, did I get the armor off of that guy?
Yes, you did. Yes, so Bobby very successfully succeeds at grabbing hold of Raz before he gets swept off the roof by this shockwave.
Bobby reaches his hand out to Raz and is like, "Grab my hand." We look towards the shockwave and Raz's hair is blowing up in the wind,
And
yeah.
There's just this moment of recognition where Roz remembers back to the sewers, and it's the role reverse, and Roz is yelling out to Bobby "Grab my hand."
Raz his arm reaches out and grabs Bobby's wrist. So that's that super 80s hand, grab two war buddies.
Yes. All right, so coughing through the dust of concrete and metal in the air, everyone's wiping their eyes and struggling to see through the cloud of destruction around them. And through the haze, you hear Ron yell, "Is everyone okay?"
I think so.
Ron, is that you?
And from a few feet to the left, Dr. Edmonton's wife speaks through a fit of coughing. "I'm here!" Ron's voice perks back up as he yells, "There's a door over here that leads inside! Everyone follow my voice!" You guys
we need to go through the door first.
All right, fine.
You and I need to go first, preferably you with the jelly ball.
Roll observation to find Ron through this fucking cloud of concrete 9/11 dust.
Okay.
Jeez, that's immediately what I thought too. Fuck.
With my extra success, can I point it out
Yes.
to Bobby before he rolls so he doesn't have to take that
I
panic?
will let that be a thing, yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Bobby, this way!
I'm coming, Raz.
Without warning, a bright light above everyone, hot like the sun, provides a slight advantage to making their way through the haze. As when you look up, you see that the now unattached stadium, fully engulfed in flames, soars towards the planet like a meteor. The stadium goes wide of the city, instead landing roughly 2 miles out in the jungle with a massive, gargantuan explosion that not only burns away the trees in a wide circle around the impact, but shatters in a shockwave portions of the already damaged Terminator wall, separating the city from the jungle. Staring at the now sky-consuming fire of the stadium as the huge supply of plasma engine accelerant that powered the station now burns and throws overwhelming thick black waves of roiling smoke vomiting up into the sky to blanket the stars. Out of your view, Roz and Bobby make their way down into the casino in front of Ron, Johnson, Jerry, and his wife.
Bobby, what do you think the best way to get from here to to the castle is where Karina was supposed to be going. Was she in that explosion? Did she land on the planet, or did she land on anything else? Like, do you think she's okay?
I don't know, man, but I'm seriously concerned about that wall being broken as fuck. Like, we're defenseless right now. Feels like we got to figure out where Karina is and get the hell out of here.